Why does dual pricing exist in Thailand? In this video we look at the dual pricing policy in Thailand. We look at what it is and where and when it happens. We also look at what if anything you can do about it. We also consider whether it should be scrapped, and whether it is having a negative effect on the Thai tourist industry. Most working expats, tourists and foreign retirees will have come across dual pricing during their stay in Thailand. This is the practice of charging foreigners a different price for the same item or service compared to local Thais. This is common practice all over Thailand, and many tourists don't realize it exists, as the price for Westerners and other foreigners will be written in Arabic numerals, with the lower price for Thais written in Thai numerals. Unless you read Thai, you will have no idea you are being discriminated against because you are a foreigner. Thai people are internationally known for their kind and generous hospitality, but is the dual pricing system hurting the image of both the tourism industry and Thailand itself? 1. What is dual pricing? There are two types of dual pricing. Institutional dual pricing. This is where you go to a museum, national park or palace or entertainment attraction, and there is clearly stated different prices for Thais and foreigners. Dual pricing is also at tourist attractions, like Siam Ocean World, Dream World Amusement Park, Safari World, Madame Tussauds, and Ripley's Believe It or Not. What can people do to combat institutional dual pricing? Some people have had luck showing a Thai driver's license, work permit or a local bank card to prove they are residents. Others have had success when they speak Thai and explain that they are not tourists and would like to pay the local rate. If you are a tourist, there is really nothing you can do. However, please note most staff at entry points do not have authorization or the power to give you a lower price. Interpersonal dual pricing. This is where you get charged more because you are a foreigner for a taxi ride or ride in a tuk-tuk, or for a plate of somtam. It can even happen when you are looking to lease an apartment, and how much you are charged in rent. Unfortunately, many hotels, even the large ones, charge one price for tourists or Westerners, and a much lower price for Thais. How can you deal with interpersonal dual pricing? Ride apps like Grab and Uber ensure that you won't be overcharged for transportation, while buying food from vendors with prices on display ensures that your server won't rip you off for not being Thai. With other individuals, if you feel you are getting ripped off, just walk away and buy the food or service from someone else. 2. What's the problem with dual pricing? Dual pricing causes both emotional and financial issues for people. To deal with an emotional reaction to dual pricing, try thinking about the policy logically, understanding why it's done, and remembering that it's not intended as an insult towards you, personally. 3. What's the reasoning behind dual pricing? Some of the underlying reasons for dual pricing are based on assumptions and stereotypes that all foreigners are rich. As an expat, in order to secure a work permit, the assumption is that you earn more than the average Thai worker. As a tourist, the assumption is that if you can afford to holiday abroad, you must have a lot more money than the average Thai. An additional reason why locals are often admitted free or very cheaply to attractions such as temples, museums, and historical landmarks is because the government does not want them to miss out on seeing important parts of their heritage, simply because they don't have the money to pay the admission fee. 4. How should foreigners not react to dual pricing? Do not get angry with institutional staff that employ a dual price system. They didn't create the policy and may not even agree with it. 5. The future dual pricing in Thailand? It is a pity Thailand continues to practice dual pricing, as it angers tourists and other foreigners, and makes them want to spend less money in Thailand, not more. Particularly in the current bad economy, it certainly doesn't help Thailand's financial stability, or its reputation either. The Tourism Authority of Thailand says it is eager to scrap the controversial two-tiered pricing entry system that currently applies throughout the country. The practice of dual pricing is one reason some foreigners come to Thailand once, and do not return. 6. Conclusions. I believe there should be a three-tier system. one price for Thais, another price for working expats and foreign retirees, and a third price for tourists. I am personally happy to pay more than Thais, as I know how poor some of them are by Western standards. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to help the channel grow.